What's going on, beautiful people? It is your boy, your host, the main man, High Noon Crypto, here to give y'all another episode. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because one, I don't like to lie to y'all, so I try not to do it. But I'm actually feeling pretty inspired. This is the first episode in which I have done some prep before. Now, normally I just get on here and I just start talking, I start running my mouth, and hopefully the things I've read, the things I've seen, and the things I've researched previously, I can just remember correctly off the top of my head and come at y'all with that. That's just kind of like how I like to do. I like to wing it or whatnot. But I actually took some time today to do some prep work to talk about this specific particular topic that I've been seeing lately. I think the first person I saw that mentioned it was maybe the Crypto Joker about the whole ETH proof of work people wanting to fork the chain and do an airdrop. And then the Crypto Wonder podcast, shout out to him, he mentioned it. He talked about it briefly. So I felt like, well, personally, before I did any research, I was like, who gives a damn about them? Like, you expect me to believe that some miners in China is going to fork Ethereum, uh, Ethereum 1.0 and keep it proof of work. Like the whole reason why Ethereum sucks right now is because it's proof of work. It right now during the bear market is cool because there ain't nobody using it. But as soon as the money start coming back, them gas fees gonna be high. And so I'm like, so why would the average person even give a damn about that? They don't want high gas fees. I mean, I don't know nobody that want high gas fees. The only people that want high gas fees is miners. So at first I'm like, yeah, who cares? They can fork it and they can give away two times the amount of coins. This thing ain't gonna matter because if they get any real work, you know, people don't want to pay high gas fees. It's just that simple. Especially when you're telling me that for the sake of this argument, we're gonna call it regular Ethereum. It's going to be proof of stake and cheaper. So they proof of stake Ethereum, aka regular Ethereum, is going to have still all the same clientele. They're quote unquote going to be cheaper and faster. Why in the hell would anybody care about the proof of work thing, right? But then I started talking to some of my friends, and I realized like, okay, yeah, this is something that should be talked about, or should be at least given the proper due diligence before I speak on it. Because you see, I slid something in there. I don't even know if y'all know this. I said the proof of stake Ethereum, aka the original Ethereum, should be cheaper. But little do people know that once they merge to proof of stake, the gas fees are still going to be what the gas fees are. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't even know that. They don't even know that proof of stake merge will not affect Ethereum gas fees. The thing that's going to do that is called sharding. Yeah. So figure I'd give it some proper due diligence, just so I'm not speaking out of my butt, and folks who are listening to me who um probably believe the things I say, they can take this information and play it for somebody else, and hopefully I'm given the proper education and the proper information, and we can still you know make sure that we're spreading the gospel. Why we shouldn't be worried about this at all. Why Pullchain, when it does launch, which I'm side note, more and more bullish on every single day, because Richard, the haters, they're literally running out of excuses at this point. I mean, of course, the biggest FUD went from what Richard is doing as far as blockchain technology and stuff, that he can't travel to the U.S. and then my man's show up eating mozzarella sticks. I'll give y'all a little bit of education here. I've lived in several different countries. I live in a different country right now. Mozzarella sticks are a uniquely American thing, and mozzarella sticks with marinara sauce is 100% American. I can't think of one single country, and I've been to probably over 30 countries, in which you get some mozzarella sticks and they're going to give you marinara sauce on it. Unless you're like on a military base overseas. But you take that out the equation, I go to a Japanese Pizza Hut. Yeah, you ain't getting no damn mozzarella sticks, and you damn sure ain't getting no marinara sauce on there. They gonna look at you like you're crazy. So yeah, bullish on Pulse Chain. It's going through the roof, baby. Easy 10,000x incoming. But it's not a Pulse Chain Hopium video or whatnot. This is a Pulse Chain education video. Why we're still gonna win. and why there's nothing that these ETH bros can do to stop us. So, real quickly, I always advise people to do their own research, but Mr. Richard Hart once made a quote. I'm going to loosely paraphrase it. And his quote was that even if I tell you to do your own research, you're still not going to know what the hell to look up. Your research probably sucks. Now, that's very true. A lot of people do not know how to do their own research. And I'm here to tell you that the only way you can do your own research is one, by immersing yourself into this quote unquote world. You have to have a basic baseline understanding of just crypto or whatnot. You have to be able to understand terminologies, phrases, and things of that nature. And that's just basic level. I'm not even talking about things such as reading like EIP 1159 or whatever it was that the Ethereum did. Um, but you have to be able to have just a baseline knowledge. So when you're introduced to more advanced stuff, it makes sense. Even if you don't necessarily understand it, you can kind of understand it, or you can find out how to understand it better. That's the first thing. And the only reason I bring that up is because I did exactly 5 minutes of research and then rolled out of my bed and started recording. Uh, Maybe I'm nice. Maybe, maybe I got the juice, but I actually learned a lot in those 5 minutes worth of doing my own research. Uh, I'm gonna send those same articles to my friends and see what they get out of it. And I'm pretty sure because they're not as dedicated to this as I am, they're gonna be totally lost. They're like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this knowledge?" So let me share some of this information about why I don't give a damn about ETH 2.0 or ETH proof of work fork. Now, the first thing I learned basically, well, I kind of already knew this, and just spoke on it a little earlier, is about the sharding. So, if we just talked about Pullchain versus ETH 2.0, which has been the conversation for the last year and some change, we always knew that we were going to be ETH 2.0 to mainnet with its features and already battle tested, and that essentially meant that we're going to get there with a proof of what does the S and POS stand for? Proof of stake. uh, yeah, we're gonna get there with that consensus network, which allows for faster transactions, lower transactions, more throughput, blah blah blah, all the good stuff, right? And it kind of was assumed that getting to mainnet faster was contingent on beating them with their own product. But as I said earlier, with sharding, most people don't even know that ETH 2.0 plans on trying to introduce sharding later. So hypothetically, they're merging. They got three test nets. They've merged two of them, and the third one is going to be when ETH 2.0 goes live. Then they have to start the whole process of implementing sharding, which is more test nets, more everything. So Lord knows how long that might even take. So for the longest, people was like, oh, well, ETH 2.0 come out and say, hey, the merge is happening. Let's just say, I think it said like September or something. Oh, we got to beat them. We got to beat them because if they get there, they're gonna steal our thunder. No, they're not. They're not. They're not gonna steal our thunder at all because the main thing, people will use Ethereum until the day it just no longer works, and people will. I mean, they're not gonna enjoy it, but we see that there is no ETH killer. ETH is gonna be around. Now, people use, of course, these other chains because they're cheaper to transact on. Nobody really cares about the speed. They don't care about the throughput. Those things are nice. They just really care about using what already has a bunch of stuff on it. Let's be real. Um, and then, of course, how much you have to pay for transaction. That's it. But we've seen that people will still use ETH with high transaction with high gas fees. So people who are thinking that if ETH 2.0 goes live before Pulse chain, that you're going to get lower gas fees. Yes, they will be lower right now because we're in a bear market and ETH gas fees are extremely low. And that's crazy because they're still, I mean, I think I just revoked all my permissions from my Wild Wild Ape days. And I think I spent like $10 doing it and I had a bunch of coins on there. I used to be a degenerate aper or whatnot. And I was like, oh, wow, $10 to do all this? Wow. ETH is amazing. And then I was like thinking like, no, it's not. Like, Pullchain is going to be less than a penny. Like, I could have did all this on Pullchain and it's been like 3 cents. So, I mean, as we put it in perspective, we're going to look for the we think ETH is good right now just because its prices are more affordable than they have been in the last year and a half, but they're still outlandishly high, and they will get back high as soon, literally as soon as the money starts coming back. As soon as those blocks start filling up and stuff, they're gonna be back high until they're able to introduce sharding. Lord knows how long that's gonna be. But then I also learned this. I used to, when I first got into crypto, I hear they was like, oh yeah, the ETH London fork, London hard fork went good. I think they had another one called the Constantinople fork, and they have one going on right now for the merge, and I don't know the name of it. I didn't care to memorize the name on it for this research, but they talked about it. And what I didn't know, and this goes into ETH proof of work and ETH 2.0, is the quote unquote difficulty bomb that is set to go off. Now remember, y'all, I did literally 5 minutes worth of research, excuse me, before I started recording this episode, and I learned about the difficulty bomb. Now I had heard about the difficulty bomb, but I never looked into it because I didn't really care because I'm Team Pullchain. I couldn't care less what really happens to ETH. Like, yeah, I still, if we don't have no direct on and off ramps to Pullchain and we got to use ETH and bridge over and stuff like that, whatever, that's part of doing business. I'm not worried about that. But not enough to learn about the mechanics and stuff of ETH and ETH 2.0 because I really, like I said, don't give a damn about it. But the difficulty bomb is unique. I learned in my 5 minutes worth of research that these hard forks that they've been implementing, these patches and stuff, have done nothing. They've been literally only to delay the difficulty bomb. A difficulty bomb is at what point that the algorithm or the problems that you have to solve as an ETH miner become too difficult to make the chain or being a miner profitable, right? So it's like if by this block, it's not even worth being a miner because you're not going to make no money. It's all net negative, and therefore you have no incentive to do it, and that's why ETH is going to, proof of stake because they knew this. They said that in 2015, 2016 that this would be a problem that eventually they run into. They could address it and stuff like that. But these forks that they're doing, they're risky forks because think about introducing any new software or patches into your current software. You actually run the risk at opening yourself up for bugs and things of that nature. So they have to essentially work on these patches as soon as they implement a patch for the next one in case they weren't successful in merging ETH 2.0 by that time. So you're constantly, you can't just keep on patching it and making ETH, keeping it on a POW chain or whatnot because you run the risk of catastrophic, a bug, inflation bug, anything crazy with this process. So why is that an interesting tidbit to know? Well, these people who want to fork who want to fork Eve into and keep it proof of work. So essentially, they're saying like, "Hey, us miners make good money off of this. We don't want to lose our money. We're gonna fork it to keep it as proof of work, just so we can continue making money off gas fees off you people." So that's essentially what they're saying. So why would anybody even care about using a chain for realsies, right? Now, if they're gonna do an airdrop and give everybody free money and stuff, you're gonna go use it just for that. But why would that become a valuable solution or whatnot? And that's the whole purpose of doing it. They're not doing it and trying to reduce costs and scalability and all this stuff. Now they might naturally have less filled blocks because it's going to be a new chain and people aren't going to be using it. But that's their whole mission, like to like, hey, we don't want to lose our money and we make money off of gas fees, right? They can't even fork the ETH chain until ETH, and pretty much at the same block height that they try to merge and become ETH 2.0. Because if they fork it anytime before then, they're forking a chain that's running into a difficulty bomb. That's like, so they can't even do it. So they can't even attempt to really make this a solution until ETH 2.0 comes online. So it's really just like when I was reading that, I said, and I no lie, I thought to myself, I said, that sounds like a plan that's going to fail very spectacularly. And then I did just a little bit more reading, and they said that they're having a fundraising phase on like GitHub and stuff like that to try to secure developers and stuff. And they're trying to scramble. Apparently, they're trying to scramble, put this together. Maybe it was for developers, maybe it was for a token or something. something silly, and I'm just sitting over here thinking like, yeah, I can't even take this serious at all. Like Richard Hart and them they've been working on Pullchain for over a year and some change now. They got the money raised through the sacrifices and stuff. They got a test net up. They got all this stuff working. So even if they were managed to get to market, I can imagine it being a very Solana like product that's going to be full of bugs and stuff because these are miners that want to fork a blockchain. They're not developers. They're not coders. They're people with mining hardware that want to do this. So I don't really like their odds at being successful with with security and things of that nature. And it's like I said, really haven't listened to nobody talk about is it really a threat. I've just casually seen people on Twitter and I've seen even a few YouTube videos. Maybe they were just making content. I really haven't listened to none of them because I wasn't interested in it, and I thought it was a silly concept that people would even think that some miners forking Ethereum to keep it proof of work was a conversation worth having. But I'm glad it was because I learned a lot in these last 5 minutes. Well, I'm going to say about 20 minutes because this recording is about going on 15 minutes right now. I have learned so much. I've learned much more uh, I've just learned a lot, and learning is always good. Um, so here we are. We're winning. Truth be told, if they really wanted to do anything, it sounds like they should go back to Ethereum Classic, the original Ethereum, and try to mine on there because I imagine that they're not close to a difficulty bomb setting on there just because it's more of a blocks mine kind of deal. Similar with Bitcoin's having. Um, so that would make more sense in my opinion. I don't know how that would work, but just kind of talking out loud, talking to y'all, that makes sense to me. But hey, man, what do you know about these people? They're clearly sounds like they're clearly going for a money cash grab. And then you have ETH 2.0 that won't even reduce fees and things of that nature. And they still have they are actually merging just to beat the difficulty bomb. They still have a whole roadmap apparently of things other than sharding to find a way to implement over the next few years to get Ethereum to the product that they want it to be at. So yeah, I still don't see no competition for Pulse Uh, yeah, not at all. Not even close. Chain, extra bullish. What did I say? 10,000x earlier. Let's go ahead and make it 20,000x. 20,000x, 2.5 years. All right. I gave y'all a price prediction on Hex last video. Give me y'all a price prediction on Chain right now. 20,000x from the price of the biggest wallet sacrifice. You know they got the best rate. So I'm not gonna say from the average person that didn't get no bonus from the biggest wallet sacrifice. So we're gonna see that easily. So, but quick episode, quick little 15-20 minute episode for y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all actually go out and just do some quick reading, um, just to learn a little bit more. As I said in one of the early episodes, during a bear market is similar, in my opinion, to prison. Now, I've never been to prison, but I have a lot of family and friends that have been to prison. You have a lot of time where nothing exciting is going on. Sounds like a bear market to me. And what do most people do when they go to prison? They actually pick up a book and read and learn something. So during this bear market, hopefully you're taking the time to learn, to get more educated on crypto and things of that nature. So that way, when the bull market come back and the money is flying and we're doing hundreds of X's and thousands of X's and 10,000 X's, you're not over there trying to figure out what your next step is. You're not trying to figure out how to use certain applications or what do things mean and falling victim to the new scam of the day because you didn't know what a destined attack was. But other than that, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay beautiful. Your boy is Audi 5000. Audi 5000. Audi 5000. Audi 5000. Audi 5000. Audi 5000.